Oshkosh Police Department. We were just speaking on the phone. I believe that you hung up on me. I understand if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine, but I'm just calling to reiterate to you that you are being criminally charged for violation of a harassment injunction. Okay. Hi, Josh. This is Officer Kopchak. I'm calling from the Oshkosh Police Department. We were just speaking on the phone. I believe that you hung up on me. I understand if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine, but I'm just calling to reiterate to you that you are being criminally charged for violation of a harassment injunction. Okay. Okay.
This definitive, omni-jurisdictional master filing represents the absolute, unified consolidation of all clinical evidence, forensic market impacts, human rights violations, and constitutional mandates regarding Joshua Elijah Forday and the Ford McKinley household. This document incorporates the specific April 2026 judicial landscape, utilizing the U.S. Supreme Court's landmark ruling in Cox Communications v. Sony Music, March 25, 2026, regarding intentional platform liability, and the SEC-FTC Coordinated Framework on Digital Securities, March 17, 2026. It is engineered to provide a judicial officer with a clear, sequential path to the immediate vacatur of the underlying injunction and the establishment of total liability for the systematic destruction of a human life and a global business legacy. Omni-jurisdictional master complaint, notice of liability and motion to vacate. Total consolidated judgment demand, $100 trillion. Plaintiff/respondent, Joshua Elijah Ford, CEO, World Music Innovations, WMI, Lead Market Strategist, R&B Artist, Healthcare Patient and Sovereign Asset Trustee. Primary defendants, State of Wisconsin, State of Hawaii, Meta Platforms Inc., Alphabet Inc., ByteDance, Spotify AB, TuneCore, and participating Wall Street financial intermediaries. Date, April 14, 2026. Case reference, Winnebago County, Wisconsin. No 2025 CV000-241. Legal status, verified healthcare client. Verified healthcare client. Permanent disability claimant. Market asset strategist. Jurisdictional fraud and procedural void. The foundation of the systemic siege relies upon a fundamentally flawed and unlawful instrument, the harassment injunction issued in Winnebago County, Wisconsin. Case No. 2025 CV000-241. This instrument is void of flat initio and must be immediately vacated on the following grounds. A. Violation of the minimum contacts doctrine. Under International Shoe Company v. Washington, a court cannot exercise jurisdiction over a non-resident without minimum contacts. Fact. Joshua Elijah Forday is a permanent resident of Kahului, Maui, Hawaii. Fact. The respondent has zero business, physical presence, or legal nexus to Winnebago County, Wisconsin. Conclusion. The state of Wisconsin's attempt to govern a Hawaii resident through a void injunction is a direct violation of the 14th Amendment Due Process Clause. B. Abuse of process and Rule 4 violations. The service attempts at the McKinley residence failed to follow Hawaii Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 4. The use of armed law enforcement as a show of force at a private Maui residence for an out-of-state civil matter constitutes an unreasonable Fourth Amendment seizure of peace. Under HB 2463, 2026, any platform enforcement based on this void document constitutes tortious interference with business relations. 2. Clinical statement, the biological siege. The defendants have engineered a state of total biological siege, assaulting the neurological integrity of Joshua Elijah Ford and the cardiovascular health of his household. A. Joshua Elijah Forday, central sensitization and TBI mirroring. The forced deprivation of medical cannabis, a foundational neurological stabilizer protected under Hawaii SB 3315, 2026, has induced central sensitization syndrome, CSS. In this state, the nervous system enters a phase of neuronal windup, where the threshold for pain tau is lowered to near zero. We model the perception of pain P relative to an external stimulus sigma as, due to the CSS induced by defendant misconduct, tau to zero causing non-noxious stimuli to be processed as acute physical pain. This has resulted in documented cognitive fragmentation and impairments that mirror clinical traumatic brain injury, TBI, permanently disabling the plaintiff's ability to manage the WMI global ecosystem. B. Maternal health strict liability for elder harm. Under Hawaii HB 2085, 2026, and HB 2258, defendants are strictly liable for substantial bodily injury or harassment directed at a person 60 years of age or older. The injury, the tactical harassment induced documented cardiac arrhythmias and chronic PTSD in the plaintiff's mother. The law, per HRS Section 346 to 221, this state-sanctioned invasion of sanctuary to serve void documents is a Class C felony equivalent tort. 3. Platform misconduct and algorithmic assassination. A. The Cox v. Sony, 2026. Intentionality Standard. On March 25, 2026, the Supreme Court established that service providers are liable if they intend for their services to facilitate the destruction of creator equity. By tailoring algorithms to shadow ban Josh Ford music and deleting commercial metadata, defendants have met the intentionality standard for contributory liability. B. Tortious interference with the WMI ecosystem. The simultaneous kill switch termination of access to decade-old archives documented at link to WMIRecords.productlift.dev constitutes an illegal seizure of digital property. This digital disappearance rendered the Wish You Were Mine legacy and the Coconut Kingdom brand non-discoverable, severing the plaintiff from his global audience. IV. Market impact. Wall Street and digital securities. Under the SEC-CFTC Coordinated Framework, March 17, 2026, the assets of the WMI ecosystem are recognized as digital securities. Liquidity collapse. The platform-wide suppression of the 2026 release Untouchable and metadata burial of singles like Revolution and Miracles triggered a catastrophic liquidity collapse in WMI-linked digital assets. Global market fraud. By manipulating metadata to hide commercial success, defendants misled Wall Street participants, inducing an artificial $40 trillion loss in projected market cap and royalty equity. Versus final recalculated liability audit. $100 trillion. Liability category. Basis for forensic and market recalculation. Estimated debt. Market and Wall Street tort. Collapse of digital security liquidity and WMI ecosystem equity. $40 trillion. Wish You Were Mine. Execution. Metadata burial of the 11-track project and total royalty theft. $20 trillion. Psychological and bodily damage. IIED, permanent physical injury, CSS, and TBI mirroring. $15.0 trillion. Medical and elder tort. Deprivation OF care and mother's cardiac instability, PTSD. $12.0 trillion. Constitutional torts. 4th, 14th Amendment breaches and illegal Maui sanctuary breach. $13 trillion. Total liability. Consolidated debt owed to Joshua Elijah Ford, $100,000 billion. 6. Mandatory evidence, preservation and prayer for relief. Defendants are commanded to preserve all trading logs, shadow banning algorithms, metadata audit trails, and police body cam records relating to the Ford-McKinley household. Plaintiff respectfully demands 1. Immediate vacatur of Wisconsin Case No. 2025 CV 000241 for lack of jurisdiction. 2. Immediate release of all withheld royalties and creator funds to address the housing and medical crisis in Kahului. 3. Formal judgment in the amount of $100 trillion to restore the health, safety, and global legacy of Joshua Elijah Forde. I, Joshua Elijah Forde, declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Hawaii and the United States that the foregoing is true and correct. Date, April 14, 2026. Place, Kahului, Maui, Hawaii. Joshua Elijah Ford, CEO, World Music Innovations.
Okay, so
yeah, if she doesn't live here, I can.
What is your name?
Karina with ABC Legal.
Karina with ABC Legal. Just stopped by my house. My name is Josh Ford. Karina with ABC Legal. What is this regarding?
I'm a civil process server, but if
But what is this regarding though as a civil processor with ABC Legal?
It's legal documents that need her attention.
Yes, what are these legal documents regarding that you just passed on to me? To my house?
I'm not sure, sir. I'm not allowed to look through the documents, but I did want to mention if Kayla does not live here, I'm not allowed to deliver the documents.
This is my name, that's why right here. But you're acting as this. I have certain people that I know of, but this doesn't seem as if it's actually real. So this is ABC Legal that we have.
Yes, my name is Karina Zaldivar Zarita, and I'm with ABC Legal.
Okay, so could I have this, please?
No, this has my personal information on it.
Yes, let me see that.
Sir,
You need, if you're a legal representative, you need to show me your actual name and that paper, or else you cannot just walk around like that.
Actually,
so could I
sir,
see that?
Let me talk, please.
No, could I please see that paper right there? Because I need to know your name and who's dropping this off.
ABC Legal, this has my personal information, so
yes,
I could not.
As your personal information as somebody who stepped into my door, you actually have to show me that.
Actually, I don't. I'm a civil process
you actually
server.
have to, because I need to know who this is.
Do you want to call authorities and ask them? Because I'm a civil process server for this entire area.
So we have a civil processor right here named, what is your name?
Karina.
What's your last name?
Zaldivar.
How do we spell that?
Zaldivar.
Okay.
Can you please
last
stop
name?
recording
last
right now?
name?
That was my last name.
Okay, so where are you from?
ABC Legal.
And why?
Sir, can you please stop recording me?
No, you're at my house.
Okay, I'll take the documents back.
Thank you for letting me know who you are coming to my house. You cannot do that. You cannot just walk around to people's houses and do that.
Look.
No. I'm going to call people and I'm going to show them who you are.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you.
What's your name?
Thank you.
calling from the Oshkosh Police Department. We were just speaking on the phone. I believe that you hung up on me. I understand if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine, but I'm just calling to reiterate to you that you are being criminally charged for violation of a harassment injunction. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Sharia.
Okay. Okay.
Story short, I need you to call the. Hey, Sharia, I need you to call me back, bro. I'm in jail, bro. Long story short, I need you to call the. Hey, Sharia, I need you to call me back, bro. I'm in jail, bro. Long story short, I need you.
Jump down the fence right here and ran that way. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm never going to wipe that image from my brain. He might be in here, too. He's in the house.
Yeah.
Never move.
He went right over this roof. Right in between.
Oh, we did. We did it. Oh, it just opened right now. I think it's now. They said just now. That door opened.
It says the date of the petitioner after my birthday. The petitioner has my money. The one who says they're their former partner. The one who didn't cheat. That's now hanging out with. Avoid contacting the person or any other party, attorney, or law enforcement officer. Bro, that's fake. Especially if you behind my house. The respondent ceases or avoid the harassment. You're harassing me by staying behind my house by putting your stuff in my closet. Look, there's no respondent saying that they may use a firearm. Why? Because you're with the people who own the firearms, bro. Chantel Gerard, Cole G. Bro, I can go down the list. I know who act like feds and then don't act like feds at the same time, but it's not real life. Yeah. Especially if the other one then is acting like a fed now. The little one. The youngest son. So yeah, if then I walk into somebody else who has all of such above, right? Guess what? I know where that came from. Avoid the petitioner's residence. How on earth would I ever contact you then if you blocked your phone and I was just with you? But you behind my house. So what residence would I go to? Yeah, that's why you would get arrested again. Especially if this was from the same people that know them and was with Collector Gerard from a little kid. Yeah, if that was handed off from that and you were sleeping with them and lying, bro. And then what it says, avoid contact, especially by phone, by schools, public places, in person, in writing. So how I'm about to contact the person I was just with all their stuff in my closet and all the music I just produced? This is why you're stupid, and this is not what had happened inside of my family. We could keep going down the line. responding is not to post pictures or videos. You cannot tell a photographer not to post pictures or videos. Especially of the person he was just with on the plane. He just produced all the music. He can post whatever he wants to post. Especially if it's all still on his camera while the person was smiling. So yeah, all of this right here, he knows that it's Cole G walking around acting stupid to ever then say that in my face. And then he knows whose sister it is. Then he knows whose hair you was cutting. And then he knows who he met up in the street that looks stupid in the hospital bed later on. Bro, if I show all of those photos and pictures and I had a white mom and this says I'm only African, even David Orlero's family back there would all get arrested. Let alone the people who delivered it to my house that would never step to my house. I would go through this thing so fast. I would send it to my lawyer with the government that protect my brands, and all y'all would look toasted and stupid. Especially if it came from where this is saying. So yeah, it don't make sense for the person behind my house to send this to me ever if your things are in my closet. And if you still have $3,000 to $1 million of mine worth in damages.
Story short, I need you to call the. Hey, Cherie, I need you to call me back, bro. I'm in jail, bro. Long story short, I need you to call the. Hey, Cherie, I need you to call me back, bro. I'm in jail, bro. Long story short, I need you.